Hello, beautifuls. Are you in love with the essence or the form? Be that with a person, place, thing. They're two very, very different experiences. And when we are in love with the form, that is a mental concept. That is the ego's idea of love. And in that place, we are placing an identity and a responsibility on that person, place, or thing as providing us safety, giving us happiness, giving us love, right? So when it's taken away, then we feel like we have lost that love. And that is a very different experience than when we are loving in spirit. Because when we are loving in spirit, we're loving the essence of something. What does that even mean? Well, when we are loving the essence of something, the form is irrelevant. And that's where that statement, only thing real is love, comes in, because the form is an illusion. Space and time are illusions. And when we love with the spirit, it dissolves those illusions or those concepts of form, space, and time. This might be a difficult perspective to wrap your mind around, but if you have ever loved someone and they left this earthly existence, you know that your love for them didn't end. The love continues on, even though their form has not. And for many of us, we really grapple with that attachment to the form. And that's because we haven't completely loved with the spirit. And don't get me wrong, even if we are completely loving in our spirit, there will be the emotional release when the form passes, because the experience that we're having will have a little bit of a shift. And because we are spirits having a human experience, I am not negating the grief process. I'm wanting to bring attention to the fact that we can still have these amazing connections and experience of love without the form. And until you've actually had that experience, it is just a concept. But when you can love from the spirit, when you are loving the essence of something, space and time don't exist. They may be in another part of the world. They may be in another realm. And that is irrelevant. You can feel them with you as though they're physically there. You can sense them, because this type of love is the only reality. It is the type of love where I talk about that there's no separation. We are all one. And when you tap into that, they don't need to be in the physical realm. I know, as I mentioned, this is a new thought probably for many. And it being so, it may take a little bit to sink into that. But when you realize that ego, or the mind's concept of love, tells us that we need something to be in our possession to love it, we know right there that that is a major cause of suffering, because everything in this world is changing. It's transitory. It's leaving. So if we need something to be in our presence to be happy, we're going to be wrought with distress and pain and suffering. And so the idea is to look at where is it that we are assigning a value to something as making us happy, as providing the love in my experience. And for each and every one of us, we will find that, right? It doesn't matter how much we're sinking into that loving process and that place of being one. As long as we're human, we will be continually asked to sink deeper and deeper into that experience. So the invitation today for each and every one of us is to take a look around. Maybe it's in the room you're in right now, or the space you're in. Can you give that up? So for me, here in this beautiful nature area, I love it immensely. But can I still have that experience of that loving if my ability to come here was taken away? In your experience, is there a possession that you have that if you gave away would cause you great distress because you feel you love it so much? Or is there a person? This one's a big challenge. Is there a person in your experience that you love so dearly, and yet the thought of them leaving to go pursue something else causes you great distress? Whenever it is that we have something, be it a person, place, or thing, that we fear the loss of it, we know that we may love them from spirit, but the larger part of us is loving them from the mind or from the ego. Because when we love them from the spirit, we can let them go, and we can do it with celebration, and know that that loving connection exists always. I thank you so much for listening to this perspective, and until we speak again, please be well.